Hello, mathematicians. Today we're going to learn about standard form for linear equations. Alright, so this is notes, and it's lesson 2.4. And the topic is graphing lines, graphing linear equations, graphing linear equations in standard form. In standard form. Okay? Alright, here we go. Now previously we learned slope-intercept form. Okay? So we should be pretty good at recognizing and using slope-intercept form of a linear equation. Whoa, that should be a capital F. I can do better than that. So slope-intercept form. You studied that quite a bit last year, and we've reviewed it this year. And remember, it's y equals mx plus b. And miraculously and magically, the m is always the slope of the line. M is always the slope, which remember is rise over run. Slope can also be you can also find slope using the formula y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1, which is just another way to find the rise and the run. And then the b is always the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is the point where the graphed line intersects the y-axis. And when you graph using slope-intercept form, remember the y-intercept is your starting point. It's where you start. And then from there you count off the slope. And y-intercepts always take the form of 0 is always first. 0 is always the x-coordinate. And then the y-intercept is just whatever number. We'll just put b there. You could put y, I guess, if you want. But it's always in the form 0 and then a number. 0b, 0y. It's always going to be 0 first and then a number. Okay, so slope-intercept form we've gone over before, but there's another form for linear equations. Now remember, linear equations, when we graph a linear equation, it's going to turn out to be a straight line. Of course, all lines are straight, but it's going to be a line. So we're studying lines still in this unit. Okay, let's go into now standard form. Okay, standard form of a line is going to look like this. AX plus BY equals C, where A, B, and C are just going to be numbers, okay? A, B, and C are going to just be numbers, and A and B can't both be 0 at the same time. All right? So A and B are not both 0. That's kind of a technicality that you don't really need to worry too much about yet. Okay? So standard form of a line is not as magical because it doesn't immediately, like just by looking at standard form, you don't immediately know the slope and you don't immediately know the y-intercept. Okay, but you can find the y-intercept. Alright, so when it's in standard form, you have a choice. You can change it into slope-intercept form, or you can use a new method. So let's do an example. Here we go. Let's write that down first. You have a choice. So when an equation is in standard form, so this right here is standard form, okay? That's called standard form of a linear equation. So you have a choice now of how you want to graph it. And you can, choice number one, is you can rewrite it and change it into slope-intercept form if you want. Or if the directions tell you to, change it into slope-intercept form. Or you can try a new way, and I'll explain that to you. Your second choice is to find the x and y intercepts. And it's actually pretty simple to do. So it's a good choice. That second method, the second one, is actually a really good choice. All right, I'll do an example. All right, let's do some examples. So the first example is 5x plus 8y equals 16. All right, that equation right there is in standard form. ax plus by equals c. ax plus by equals c. Now, the old way, or one of the choices I told you, is you could rewrite it into slope-intercept form. So that's what, let's just go through that. So let's put it into, so let's rewrite it into slope-intercept form, which is a fine choice. Nothing wrong with that choice. That's what we were learning previously. And if the directions tell you to do that, then you have to. And if the directions don't really tell you, then it's just one of your choices. Okay, so we need to solve for y. Here we go. Subtract 5x from both sides. That will give me 8y equals 16 minus 5x. And then I need to divide every term by 8. And that leaves me with y equals, let's see, 16 divided by 8 is 2 minus 5/8 x. And then I need to write it in the correct order. Y equals negative 5/8 x plus 2. All right, so right now it's in the magical form, slope-intercept form. Here is my slope of the line, and here is the y-intercept. So we can quickly graph it. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and graph paper would be a better choice, but I don't have it currently, so I'll do the best I can here. Label your axes, x and y. Try to equally space your marks as best you can. Again, we don't have a ruler, but we'll try to do the best we can to equally space them. Okay, so we're going to start at the y-intercept. It's positive 2. That's our starting point. So we start at positive 2. And then we count our slope. Negative 5, that's the rise, which is actually a fall. And 8 is the run, that's a positive, so that's to the right. So I'm going to fall 5 and go to the right 8. Fall 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then run 8. I think I'll get my pen here. Fall 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then run 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I went down 5, forward 8. And then I connect those with a line. Alright, so that's the old way. Nothing wrong with that. If it starts in standard form, This would be standard form. Many times you may choose to rewrite it into slope-intercept form. Okay, you're going to have to click on the second video, part 2, to see the next examples.